Hello, everyone. I'm not going to actually count in the show by singing the final countdown. I think probably once was enough for that in the history of the channel's live streams, I guess. Really nice to see all of you. There's a heated conversation about Crocs and eating kangaroos and such going on in the comments at the moment, which is really interesting. Let's see who we've got here. Right now we have, let's scroll down to the recent comments. Travis Moore, you wonderful human being, you bass playing extraordinaire, proud new owner of the Sugrife Twitter handle, which is fantastic. Somebody's going to want to buy that off you at some point for thousands, man, which is a really great idea. Bernie, wonderful person, really glad you made it back to Singapore without much issue. I hope you're enjoying the local cuisine that doesn't include barbecued croc. Dude Jericho, you wonderful man. Hello. Dude Jericho is really, really into the streams, to the point. And I quote, he's lurking so hard, he's jerking. Sean Bro, hello Sean Bro, who is speaking in hiragana by the looks of it for the duration of the stream, which is good. Get your practice in however you can, man. Support it. Nobiri Hito, hello. Nobiri also tossing out a bit of the hiragana. And okay. And Lucas Musser, hello. Sorry if I say your last name wrong. I never really know if it's Musser or Mooser or whatever. Though I think based on the jokes Posey makes about your last name, it must be Musser, right? Mussing about and all those other wonderful jokes, those wonderful Posey jokes. Anyway, so tonight is a bit of a special stream. Not that they aren't all special, of course, but it's interesting because for a really long time, I had tried to avoid like more the so-called otaku topics on this channel, because I didn't want to make a channel that was just, same old same, come to Japan, or show off collectibles and things like that. And going forward, the channel certainly is not going to become that, but I'm really happy to say that, I guess I should just get this out of the way now. I'm really happy to say that after the stream airs tonight, it will be the start of actually like a weekly series that I'm going to be doing called Otaku. The idea being that there will be a weekly 20-minute show, 15 to 20 minutes, that will be posted on Saturday nights to talk about like the big news stories, I guess, the exciting stories, the things I find interesting, and hopefully if you guys want to tweet at me things you find interesting, I'll cover those too, and just talk about them. And I don't know, I'm sure you can see my terrible logo on screen that I did in Paint Shop. But the idea is, as you hopefully, maybe you can tell from what's in the arms of the octopus here, we're going to be talking about music, animation, film and TV, literature, culture, for lack of a better word, although I know those other things are part of culture, collectibles, games, and technology. And so not only will it be a much longer video than what I normally post, because they're normally maybe 5 minutes or whatever, but basically the idea will be is that not only will they be like longer videos, and I'm rambling now, I'm sorry, they're going to be like 20 minutes or so, as I said, again, the rambling, because they're going to be longer and they're going to be things that you don't really have to watch necessarily. I'm also going to be posting them in podcast format on SoundCloud. And those will either be up the same day on SoundCloud or they'll be up the next day, which will be on a Sunday. So if you don't feel like tuning in, watching the videos or whatever, which I hope you still will, you can definitely, download the podcast. So I hope this is something you guys are interested in. Like I said, I don't really have any interest of making this a super heavy otaku channel, I guess, because my interests lie elsewhere. But of course, I also, like so many people, really love me some nerdery. So let's see the comments. I'm liking the response to the Otaku logo thing. Sean's bahaha is simultaneously hurtful and hilarious. So, and yeah, he's a super happy octopus, and he's actually part of an animation, like an animated intro type thing that actually it took me a really long time to do, and it's really crappy, but it's like the first step, right? So I'm happy with it. I'm happy to have put the work in, and hopefully to continue putting the work in. So yeah, guys, like the first episode of that will go live, I think, at 8 o'clock this Saturday. So would really appreciate your support. And the other thing I want to talk about before we dive into our news topics, the first of the news topics that will be covered on this channel for the Otaku world, is I want to talk about just really quickly, sort of pimp out the Feed Your Otaku contest. Oh, and yeah, before I go, Bernie wrote a really great article for Gaijin Pot about sort of what it feels like when home isn't home anymore. Bernie being an expat of Singapore, which I think probably all of you guys are aware. Really, really great piece. So please check out her Twitter or go to Gaijin Pot to get a link to that. Actually, I'll put a link later in the description so you guys can find it, if that's the way we should do it. So the Feed Your Otaku contest, right? The main idea here, and I just want to use this to like clarify things a little bit. Oh no, God! I should have anticipated the tentacles becoming becoming a focus in the comments. But no one ever said I was the most intelligent J-vlogger. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. But the Feed Your Otaku contest, as I go off the rails here, this was meant to sort of maybe make a video to test the waters to see how these sort of videos would fall with you guys, and also because we had hit the 150 subscriber mark, which is the main purpose. And so if you haven't entered the contest yet, I just want to show you what you can win, and then we'll move the hell on, because this is just not classy. You can enter to win a Pikachu Tomika, a Pikachu Gachapon from the Sleeping Pokemon set, and some seasonal delicious Kit Kats. These are the best Kit Kats ever. Dark hazelnut chocolate type thing, sex in your mouth type of flavor, which actually doesn't sound that appetizing probably. But and then there'll also be some other goodies that'll be stuffed in there. So if you feel like entering, all you have to do is take a picture or make a video of your collection of nerd goods. And keep in mind that both the term nerd and the term collection are used loosely. If you only have one thing that you want to show off, that counts as an entry. And if what you're nerdy or you're sort of an otaku for is books, or it's whatever the case may be, right? Like the point is to show off what you're passionate about, and it's not about the size of the collection. The point is that you're passionate, and I want to celebrate your passion. So that's the entire idea. So you can find the link to the video in the description below for all the contest details. The only really big rule for this is that you need to make sure that whatever you send me is your own, right? I don't want like, you shouldn't be sending me pictures of other people's collections or whatever. I mean, that's great. I'm happy to see those things, but it won't count as an entry. The idea is to celebrate what you have going, right? So anyway, without further ado, yeah, Travis, that's what I'm saying. The flavor of sex in one's mouth is just, yeah, but actually it's cool because there have been 6 people who entered this contest so far. And that was like the bare minimum I wanted to meet to feel like it was like a successful thing. So thank you guys, Do Jericho, Roz, Posey, the other guys who have entered. It's really awesome. So, oh geez, as I'm knocking things over here. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is not actually within the realm of Japan nerdery, I guess, which is usually the focus of this channel, right? It's Japan, but because it's such big news, it needs to be talked about. Today, Sony Pictures and Marvel announced that Spider-Man will be coming to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, meaning that he'll no longer be like in that weird, crappy pocket universe of the Sony movies. So he'll be popping up, I'm sure, in like Captain America, Civil War. Enrichment, what's up, man? Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Nivk08. Nice to see you in here too. Thanks, guys, for joining. So yeah, we just need to talk about that. Spider-Man between Spider-Man and Batman, they're my two favorite superheroes. So this is really big news, right? So yeah, let's see what they do with him. See what they do with him. I have faith. I have faith in the house of M, as my mouth stops working. So, moving on from the non-Japanese nerdery, let's talk about this week. This week, as you may be aware, the remastered 3D version of Mask of Majora: Legend of Zelda will be launching on the Nintendo 3DS. But I don't think that's really the biggest news about Legend of Zelda this week. You know, like Netflix has announced that they're working on a live action Legend of Zelda series with the tag so far that it's supposed to be more of a family friendly Game of Thrones, which Game of Thrones. Oh man, sorry, my cherry blossoms are blooming and my entire room smells amazing. Basically, yeah, family friendly Game of Thrones, and that's in the Legend of Zelda universe, right? And I'm not sure. I feel like there's such a really big problem adapting a game like Legend of Zelda, where there's so many different things you can pull from and so many different storylines to follow. Ninjaru88, what's up, man? Nice to have you. Nice to see you. And the thing is, like, Nintendo adapted programming doesn't exactly have the best track record, right? Like, I'm sure many of you have seen the Super Mario Bros. Movie from back in the day that is just, yeah, it's wonderful. And then, of course, there's that ill-fated Legend of Zelda cartoon from back in the day that was also really bad, had the worst voice acting ever. Oh yeah, and Bernie Lowe points out that related to this news that Netflix is finally coming to Japan, which was interesting that Netflix announced that they were developing a Legend of Zelda show around the same time as Netflix had said this. So, I mean, I think you can safely assume that will at least be one of the 10 things worth watching that Netflix Japan has. Yeah, Bernie, I have cherry blossom branches that are part of like this ikebana setup over here, and there's buds on them and they're blooming. Let's see if I can do this without blowing up the stream. No, Sean, it wasn't awesome. It was not. But see, you can see the cherry blossoms here. Hopefully that didn't kill my camera connection. I can never tell with my computer anymore. All right, we're good. Yeah, no, and that's a really good point too. Is like all of a sudden Link's going to have a voice as opposed to just being like, right, or reacting or doing. He'll be doing more than spinning sword attack noises, I guess. So, and will there be Navi? Will Navi be in the movie? Important question. Because you're not in the movie, in the TV show. So you have to wonder how many people will put up with like, hey, listen, for, a lot of times. But yeah, actually, a lot of people I feel like miss Zelda, and I didn't really get into Zelda until I was maybe 18 or something, because I never had a Nintendo or anything growing up. I had Pokemon Yellow on like the Game Boy Color, and that was it. So it was only later that I played like remakes and things like that. So, Guys Janice, hello, welcome to the stream. Very nice to see you. Zelda is not popular in Japan. Nobiri, who's the Ikebana woman you're talking about? You're talking about the one I was like sharing through Twitter, through like her links and stuff. But yeah, so I guess I know that like Roz, for example, Roz is a big Zelda fan, and dude, I think you're a pretty big Zelda fan. So I don't know. I'm interested to hear. I mean, is the only reservation the fact that Link will be talking, or is the track record scaring you guys a little bit too? I don't know. I feel like if I went back now. Yeah. I guess that's true. It's hard to go back to old games when you don't have the nostalgia to pull you through. You know what I mean? Because you can get over not bad graphics, but graphics that fit the time easily enough. If you were there playing it through the first time, like the Legend of Monkey Island, for example, Secret of Monkey Island, like, yeah. Gaijanese is just here to watch my hat. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Always good to get some hat love for this thing. Huh. Yeah, no, I didn't know that Zelda was like a smaller franchise over here, I guess, but that might explain why nobody knew who Sheik was when I was trying to draw her during my class. But anyway, yeah, dude, Jericho's a big Zelda fan, so I think I think at the very least it's cool to see a property like this, like high fantasy, being treated by a company like Netflix, who has had really good luck with original programming. Or not even luck, they've just put out good shows, right? So that's fantastic news. So, and again, guys, all these topics, if you want to read more in depth and read people's comments about these things that are a lot more eloquent than mine, all the links are in the description. So yeah, and yeah, I'm hoping you're wrong, dude, with about them not being able to pull it off, but I guess we will see. On that note, next thing, let's talk about Star Wars for a minute. In Sean Bro's live stream last week, I talked about how Takara Tomy had released some new Star Wars themed goodies, right? And the thing is, because apparently Takara Tomy doesn't feel like they can release any sort of vehicle without it being a car. So they released a Star Destroyer, a TIE Fighter, and a couple other classic vehicles from the original Star Wars trilogy. And there's wheels on the bottom of them to make them cars. But if you're a Star Wars fan, or if you collect Takara Tomy, the Tomikas, excuse me, then I think this is probably something to look into. They're 900 yen a piece over here, so I imagine if you have them imported, you're going to be paying at least a little bit higher than that. But they're, I know, like Roz, for example, I know you collect like offshoot, one of Takara Tomy's offshoots, like the Chorokyus. This is a really cool thing, and the good thing about this is that these are widely available. They're not like limited run or anything like that, like the Amiibos, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, that Nintendo puts out. These are just massively available, sort of out there things, so the collectors can really get their hands on them. And I saw them the day that they were released at my local toy store, and I'm in Inaka. So if we can find them here, hopefully you guys can find them wherever you might be located, whether it's in Japan or abroad. But yeah, Star Wars, man, this is going to be the year of Star Wars, because Episode 7 comes out in December. So of course, there's probably going to be a lot of these things rolling out. And since a lot of the like big toy companies are based over here, like who is it? Square Enix has like their Play Arts line, where they're releasing like these alternate Batmans, and they've got a lot of cool Star Wars stuff. So I think this is probably just going to be the beginning out of Japan for awesome, high quality, but also quite expensive Star Wars collectibles. And also, actually, the gachapon machines over here, there's a lot more Star Wars stuff being rolled out. Like almost probably like every 2 weeks I go, it seems like there's a new gachapon machine, which is always dangerous, right? Because you quickly keep spending 200 or 300 yen, and then suddenly you're out of money. I collect pieces of Mark Hamill hairs. I'm totes making the best hair doll ever. Gaijanese, the creepiest fan of Star Wars ever, or at least the creepiest one to ever grace the comments. Question is, where do you find pieces of Mark Hamill hairs? That would seem like a. I mean, obviously we're yeah. That would entail so much, man. So much work just to get piece by piece constructing your creepy Hamill voodoo. The man is a legend for sure. So I guess I could understand going a little nuts, but if you need somebody to talk to, a mental health professional, for instance, you let me know, Gaijanese. Now, one of the bigger topics, of course, that any show claiming to be for otaku should talk about is anime. And Travis Moore, I know you posted on the preview video earlier that you wanted to talk about anime, you wanted some recommendations, and so I will first of all call on the people in the comments to give you recommendations from the last season, or even some older ones, because surely they're more knowledgeable than I am. But one of the ones I would recommend is actually making a comeback this season. Japanese anime, the way it works is very much, I don't know, it seems to work differently from American TV, in my experience, where American TV seems to have maybe 2 big seasons or like 2.5 big seasons type thing, where the new shows will come on and the old ones will sort of phase out for the year. And of course, over here, anime works a bit different in that it's often just a one shot. But a lot of really good stuff, or stuff I should say that looks really good, is going to be starting as of March, with the majority of the spring season anime actually not releasing until April. And so I talked about Mark Hamill hair doll, best therapy around. All right, fair enough, man. Fair enough. And yeah, so Travis, the one I would recommend from this past season is El Noah Zero. It's a mecha anime, pretty dark, I thought, and had kind of like a cool twist on the whole reason why people are killing each other in that one. Not to give it away, but yeah. So starting from March, but mostly in April, 2 of the anime series that I would really keep an eye out first. The first is Gintama. Gintama has been around now for, I don't even know, a while, but it's a mix of like alternate history, or not alternate history, comedy, drama, and maybe, yeah, I guess that just about covers it. In Gintama, the premise of the show is that I think towards the end of samurai reign, so maybe just before or during the Meiji Restoration of the 19th century, aliens come to Earth, and it sort of makes feudal culture stick around for a while, or continue to go, but with like aliens and some new technology and things like that. And it's also really hilarious. Like the comedic elements of it are really great. The show name should actually give you a clue of what kind of show of it. Gintama, I believe, unless my Japanese is just that bad, which it is, means silver balls in the sense of huevos. So reference to things in the show that we shouldn't get too far into. And then the other one, that's one I would definitely recommend, and I can back up with having actually watched earlier episodes of the series. And well, Travis, the good thing is, oh right, you do need to copy it down because the comments are going to disappear, mofos. But the next one that's coming out, Kyokai no Rine, high school student Sakura Mamiya began to see ghosts and ghouls after she was tricked into taking a trip to the other world as a child. However, cool and collected, she is not extremely fazed when she finds out that her always absent classmate Rine Rokudo is actually working as a Shinigami, god of death, on the side, helping lost spirits reach the wheel of incarnation. And so basically, I mean, this sounds pretty not like the most original thing ever, but it sounds like it sounds like one of those classic anime of like the strange main character who needs to be comedically helped out by the kind-hearted heroine or whatever. But yeah, I just like the art, and I always like when like the god of death type story. So those are the 2 I'm looking forward to for this coming season. Not Lucas, excuse me, Travis. In the description, there is a link to all of the upcoming anime for March and April. So definitely check that out and see if anything tickles your interest. And now let's take a look at the comments on this subject, because I'm sure you guys have got to have more to say than I do. Yeah, Sword Art Online 1 and 2. The first half of season 1 is fantastic, and then the first half of Sword Art Online 1 is like is this exercise in turning like these a lot of anime tropes on their head. The first being that there can actually be like a kick-ass female character who can stand alone, and then that sort of gets reversed in the second half, which sucks. But Sword Art 2 has some really awesome stuff going on. So to respond to Lucas there, I haven't actually seen a lot of these ones you guys are recommending, so I need to write these down for myself. Although Tokyo Ghoul has been one that I feel like I should watch just because Lucas has that mask that haunts my dreams. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is I can't get past like the ultra manly like animations, right? Like those ridiculous, those ridiculous eyebrows, and even like the way they talk. It irks me. I couldn't get past like the first. I couldn't get past like the first 5 minutes of it without just being weirded out enough to shut it off. But I'm glad Dude Jericho enjoys it, and I hope you guys will enjoy it off his recommendation. Gaijinese, do you watch any anime as a way of studying Japanese? I don't actually watch all that much anime in general. But I guess okay, I guess if I do use anime as a study tool, it's usually older stuff that I watched as a kid. So Gundam Wing, Yu Yu Hakusho, Tenchi Muyo, uh, Outlaw Star, Cowboy Bebop, things like that. Like I said, things that I really watched when I was a kid. I don't watch Dragon Ball to study just because, I don't know, it seems like out of all those things, that would be the most ridiculous source. But okay, let's see what I'm missing in here. Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, Kenshin is also a really good one. And actually, I haven't seen the second and third movies in the live action series. But if you want like a really good like period fantasy, I would really check out the Rurouni Kenshin movie. The first one, a really enjoyable, surprisingly well done for an anime adaptation. Yeah, dude, Jericho, you do what you want, man. If you like JoJo, I am all for it. I am all for it. Um, yeah, the sister vibes and the daddy thing were really awkward, Travis, and also the fact that there were points where it was like gratuitous. I don't know. I felt at points it was gratuitous. How should I say? Like borderline rape porn, and there were also scenes where I was just like, it was so. I mean, it was gratuitous. That's all you really need to say. Like there were things that were not advancing the story, and I just thought it was really in poor taste. So I didn't. Yeah, the second half of season one really turned me off a lot. But I like the steampunk. It's not steampunk. What is it? It's cyberpunk feel of season two quite a bit. Kill la Kill is one I've been interested in seeing. There's a series on YouTube where they make a lot of like anime weapons and things like that, like actual blacksmiths, and they made like the weapon, some weapon from Kill la Kill that I thought was cool. I'll have to check it out. So, Call of Monte Cristo anime. Oh, that sounds cool. Natsume Yujin Cho. Shishi. And also, sorry, I meant to answer this in addition to what I had said, Gaijinese, about anime. But usually if I'm using visual media to study, I watch dramas, I guess. Like no watch. Okay, good. All right, good, Bernie. I'm glad you agree with me. Bernie, did you see the second two movies? Because I definitely want to see them, but I'm not going to download them for fear of being tossed away into a prison for all of eternity. And again, if I'm studying using dramas, I usually watch older ones. And I think I talked about this when Jake Knowlton was on the show a few weeks ago. But I'm really a psycho for anything with Nagase Tomoya in it. So that means I watch Ikebukuro Westgate Park, Tiger and Dragon, My Boss, My Hero, and Nakanaide Haru-chan, which was one of the more recent ones he did. Just because I really am a sucker for romantic comedies / weird drama. So, and he tends to star in things like that. So I would really check those out because, I mean, of course, the important thing about using media to study is that it keeps you interested. And especially with Ikebukuro Westgate Park and probably My Boss, My Hero, at the point where I watched them through maybe at least probably three times each series, and I still love watching them. And I think they're both completely on YouTube. And Tiger and Dragon, by the way, is really cool because it highlights rakugo, the traditional form of like storytelling, right? That I really want to go see in Kyoto, or probably more likely Osaka. Bernie, when you get back to Japan, let's go see rakugo. Huh. That seems like it would be awkward if that was the case. The bit about Japanese and Japanese. Okay. Going to start the process of bringing in a guest to talk about what is going to be sort of like our last big topic I want to talk about. Raz, I'm going to send you, if you're in the comments, I'm going to send you a link to come in and talk here in a second. Oh, Masa. Hey, Masa, nice to see you. Contensai is in the comments. Contensai, we need to get back to Yokohama for more beers and exploration, my friend. Most definitely. Hanayori Dango. Oh, oh, no, but Bernie, it was you in Kyoto. That's right. That's you who was talking about it. I think you guys and your anime recommendations are terrible because everybody should just be watching Yokai Watch. Wink, wink. Don't actually do it. The only time it was on that I've seen it was when I went to meet Bernie in Kyoto, and it was on first thing in the morning, and it was terrifying. And I really hoped it wasn't setting like the tone of the day. I think right now the only thing that bothers me worse than Yokai Watch is probably Domo-kun, who I see everywhere. I've seen him everywhere for 5 years. He's sort of like my haunting specter, I guess. But righto. So moving on from the anime, though. Oh, hello there, Kazuki. Kazuki is in the comments. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining. It's really cool to see so many of you guys here. Thank you so much for joining. It really means a lot. I swear it's the Otaku tag. Should have done it sooner, right? Should have given in sooner. But next thing I want to talk about is something that I mentioned earlier. Now you'll have to forgive me because I've just gotten on board with the whole idea of Nintendo's Amiibos. And the Amiibos, from what I understood, are like, no, oh God, Bernie, not the Yoderu. Oh, no. Because that's not going to be in my head for the next 48 hours constantly. So Nintendo has a line of figures / I guess what are effectively peripherals for their gaming systems called Amiibos. Oh, hi, Wondering Jim. Nice to see you. And again, from my non-expert perspective, basically, they can be scanned into like the new Nintendo 3DS now that it has NFC support, and also the Wii U, and they can be used in games. Is that correct? Like, can be used in games and sort of leveled up and things like that, depending on the game. It's too much feels and screaming at the characters to stop being. And anyway, the reason why we're talking about this, of course, is because it's Nintendo, and so it's a lot of the classic Nintendo characters, of course, Link, Mario, Pikachu, blah blah blah. But the collectible aspect of it is actually pretty interesting because the Amiibos, in a lot of ways, have become like trading cards or gachapon, for example, where you want to have like every one, right? Like collectors want to get these super rare ones, like the Toon Link, for example. Like I know at least one of you in the comments has the Toon Link statue, and so Nintendo, of course, is creating like false supply and demand forces. So they release these limited runs. People wait in these gigantic freaking lines, only to spend like at least 2,000 yen on these things, more if like they're super limited, and then you probably don't find them. And what this is all leading up to, again, I don't collect these, so it doesn't matter to me all that much, but I thought it would be really interesting for you guys to know that there is a new utility just called the Amiibo Tracker, which checks the stocks of Walmart, Best Buy, GameStop, Toys R Us, and Target stores to see the stock of any Amiibo that you're looking for, right? So, for example, Dude Jericho in the comments is talking about how he has a Samus Aran. So, say you wanted a Samus, but you didn't want to have to go from store to store in the case that they were sold out and bounced around. This thing, you tell it which Samus you want. Right? Like, say there's two Samuses and you want the one from wave 1 or you want the one from wave 2. You tell it that. It checks the stocks of all these stores, so you know, like within your area code or within your locality, where you can go to pick them up, which I think is pretty useful for you collector type out there, right? Who really want some of these things but don't feel like going to join in a line when you're not going to get anything, because that's always pisses me off, right? Yeah, Travis, you got to be careful when asking for anime recommendations around these types of crowd bans, because you will, well, you know, have fun. Hope you enjoy all the recommendations. But regarding the Amiibo Tracker, so far, unfortunately, this will only be useful to those of you who are either in Canada or the United States. I think there has been some talk that this will expand to Europe, at least to the UK soon, so that if you guys want to find your Toon Links or those silver and gold Mario amiibos that are coming out soon, you won't have to search around in vain, but you'll still be spending a lot of money on them. So yeah, keep that in mind. Okay, let's go to the comments. Yeah, I would love a Toon Link. He's definitely like my favorite iteration of the character, and I'm really a big fan of Wind Waker. I wish there were more games made in that art style within the Legend of Zelda lore. I mean, but what can you do? Take what you can get, right? Whoops, sorry. I think my stream just had a hiccup there. Apologies. Oh no. See, you let a silence form in the stream for one moment, and Nonberi Hito, going off of Bernie's lead, starts singing the Yokai Watch theme in katakana, but also hiragana. In the comments, thereby sticking your head. I apologize to all of you out there. But I would like to open it up to the floor a little bit to start getting some of you guys' comments in. What are some of the things that you're following that I haven't mentioned? Like, what are some of the stories that I probably should have talked about? Or if I didn't talk about them now, that you would like covered in the first episode coming up this weekend? Who's streaming? You can guess now. Oh, Kazuki, you're gonna be doing a stream. That's awesome. I'll definitely like to check that out. Oh yeah, there was one more story. Did I start it? I did start it by talking about Yokai Watch, didn't I? That's what I get for being sarcastic. Always. But I guess to go back to the whole anime thing. Oh, hey, Dance of the Cranes, nice to see you in here. Yeah, I've actually thought about the Amiibo too, although I don't have a new 3DS or a Wii U either. But I am going to pick up that peripheral for the 3DS when it comes out this summer, to make it so that you can scan in those scan in the Amiibos and use them on the current model, or I guess now the last gen model of 3DS. Because I don't know, I'd like to have one or two on my shelf, you know, be a cool collectible. But so if you guys are a fan of mecha anime, or like, I mean, you don't even need to be a fan, I think, of it to know about Neon Genesis Evangelion, right? I think for better or worse, it's been one of the biggest anime over the last couple of decades. Psychologically, it's a really strange thing. The animation I thought was good. It's dark in really weird ways, but also I don't know, weird's probably not even the right word. It's just a dark show. But anyway, what I'm getting at here is that it was 20 years ago that Evangelion first sort of came out. Not sort of, it did come out. And it got really, really popular to the point where I think pretty recently they had done like they had done either like a brief mini series or something like that, or they had released a couple movies to sort of clarify some things. Because if you've watched the show Evangelion, maybe you know that it was one of the most confusing shows ever, to the point where I had to watch it 2 or 3 times, at least the ending episode, to kind of understand what was going on. But I digress. So 20 years later, and there's a weapon from Evangelion called the Spear of Longinus. And if you're familiar with the Bible, the Spear of Longinus was the weapon used to kill Jesus Christ, to lance him, right, to spear him. And in the anime, in Evangelion, it was thrown through like the final angel, I believe is what happened. It's been a while. It was thrown through the final angel, killing it, but it just kept on going out of Earth's orbit and it stuck in the moon. And of course, anime fans being anime fans, and this being an anniversary year, there is now a Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter campaign, raising something insane, 100 million yen, which is 150,700 US dollars, to fund a Spear of Longinus replica being launched to the moon, where it will stand to sort of commemorate the greatness that is Evangelion, is the idea, right? And I think right now it has, like, at last check, it was at 40% or something like that. Oh yeah, here's the project. Let's see how it's going. So, yeah, so it's at 34.9 million yen of the 100 million yen they're hoping to get. And you would think, I don't know, at least to me, you would think it would cost a lot more money, or there'd be a lot more red tape to throwing a large metal object into our celestial bodies. Like, you would think, I guess, I mean, maybe not underestimate how much 100 million yen is, or $850,000, but it's just like, no, Beer, are you sending people to YouTube hell in the comments right now? Because that's just not dumb. It's dumb. Don't do it. I jest, of course. But yeah, so the spear it's going to be tiny though. If all goes according to plan, a 240 millimeter, 1/400th model of the spear will go into space by the end of next year. So if you're an Evangelion fan, or you just like investing in ridiculous things that will make for ridiculous, enjoyable stories, head on over to this page. Trying to see, it has 54. There's 54 days left, it looks like, so there's plenty of time. Yeah, and I think it just started. If it's out of 60 days and there's 54 days yet, then it just started and already has 34 million yen. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably it's probably going to happen. There's going to be a tiny, tiny Spear of Longinus in the moon. So thanks, anime fans. Right, I think our guest is about ready to join, which is awesome. In the meantime, let's go to the comments and see what's going on here. I feel like when I go to the comments, I should be able to hit a button and it has like elevator music. So, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Sean, bro, his Jake Dalton mentioned him. He was talking about how cool of a guy Kazuki is, when he was on the stream a couple weeks ago. So if you're wondering where you heard his name from, maybe that's it. Yeah, right. He just pointed that out. I'm sorry, I didn't read. Should have known better. But yeah. Bag of cats describes Sean's head, apparently. There's a guy making potato salad. I'm not sure what that means. And it sounds like we got Russ. Hello, Russ.
Hey man, how's it going?
Not bad. How you doing?
Yeah, Sorry, I came in late, man. I was making breakfast. Just
Oh,
when
no
you got
worries.
up.
No worries. I hope it was delicious. So to catch you up, the story about the Amiibos as I was talking about is that there's a website called Amiibo Tracker that just launched that basically lets you check the stocks of Amiibos at like Walmart and Best Buy and things like that, so that you can
All
search,
right.
so you don't have to go wait in the line needlessly. But it's only in Canada and the U.S. right now. But I think it's supposed to
Oh,
be
so
making
not,
its way across the pond. But
not in the UK.
no, not yet, not yet. But hopefully sooner than later for you guys. But yeah, man, I think you have a lot more expertise with amiibos, and I mean, do you have any stories like about at least sometimes, do you have any stories about having waited in line for like any of the collectible, like the more rare editions or anything like that?
We no, actually, I've only bought one amiibo from the actual store. The rest I've just bought online because they're cheaper. There's a store in the UK called Game. I think people in the chat who live in the UK will know about it, and they're charging way too much for the amiibos, like £15 a pop basically. But the
That's
standard price is like £10 to £11. That's like standard, or even cheaper if you can find it cheaper.
No, are they charging that for like the standard models or for the collector's ones?
No, just everything.
That's ridiculous.
For any amiibo from any wave.
How many waves are there now?
I think we're on wave 4, coming on to wave 5. The next ones, I think we're getting Shulk, Sonic, Ness. Who's the other guy? There's a couple of others coming out, but yeah, I think Shulk and Ness have sold out. The pre-orders are basically sold out for them too.
Yeah, I heard that like it's at the point now where they're so limited that the pre-orders are like out, right? Within like a day or two, because people are just like snatching them up that quickly.
You know, the other problem is, the scalpers, they're just like buying in bulk and they're selling them for like crazy prices on eBay. So now
Uh,
some of the websites and Nintendo are doing one per customer now, and they can't like they're looking. I think what they've done is like people must have been like complaining, saying, oh, well, people able to order so much of one figure, and they are getting allowed to buy like X amount of figures. So I think Nintendo must have looked into it, and now they're limiting everyone to one per customer. So,
uh,
and they're canceling orders. So anyone that has more than like 10 orders or something, they're canceling it. And so I think it's good that they're doing this now. So it's fair on everyone else that's trying to just complete the collection.
yeah, no, that's fair enough. Is there one that you're looking forward to more than the others? I like, for example, are you gonna try and get either the silver or the gold Mario that's coming out?
You know what? I think that's just trying to create more hype that there already is. I'm not really bothered about them. Like I'd rather get Ness, like the characters I like. I'm not really bothered about the gold and silver Mario. I
Right,
think it's
same.
um, just another way for them to make money and just to draw more people in and create this fake hype. Oh look, there's limited edition, gold, silver Marios. We need to go get them, and people just go crazy. I think Nintendo are a bit sly as well because they probably purposely are releasing only a limited amount, but they probably have like loads of in their warehouse.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's probably true. I think I don't know. I don't like when things are turned into like trading card game type business models, right? Where it's like, okay, we're going to make our money by getting people to just constantly try for these things, right? And then you keep having to spend money to pick them up, and the sort of false supply and demand thing. I'm really not a fan of it. But I mean, you want what you want, I guess, right?
This whole Amiibo thing is just gone crazy because when they got announced, me and my friend were like, all right, the Skylanders type setup. So maybe like after a month or two they'll probably die out, and we just start seeing them end up in bargain bucket deals and stuff like that. But no, it just seems to be going up and up and up. So it's like the hype hasn't died out yet, and people are just going even more crazy for the stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember Skylanders, when they first came out, everyone's going crazy for them because it's something new and it hadn't been done before. But then, like about a month or two later, it just sort of died out, and then there was that. like crap loads of them. Just like when you used to go in stores, there was like whole aisles just full of Skylander stuff. And now I think they've gone to that Disney Infinity now, and they've started making Disney characters into the little figures and stuff and all that.
Yeah, see, that might be something I invest in. It's just, I mean, I don't have a system to play Disney Infinity on here, but yeah, man, I mean, some of those characters, like the Incredibles characters, for example. And now that they're gonna have the Marvel ones, or they have them out, right? The Marvel ones have been out for a while.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably
yeah, yeah. I
some of
think
them as well.
the recent one was the Avengers one. Well, not recent now, but when the film came out, the Avengers one.
Oh yeah, speaking of adventures, what did you think about the news of Spider-Man coming to the MCU?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was happy, man. Now I want them to announce that Wolverine will be joining the party. Then I'll be happy. We just need Wolverine now, and then it's all good. But yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
I know you're a Spider-Man fan, and my friend's a huge Spider-Man fan. So yeah, I know you guys are happy to see
Yeah,
him finally.
I saw the news when I was at work, and luckily I didn't have any classes for a while because I was sitting there like having a little have a little nerd celebration to myself, barely barely managing not to squeal to squeal out loud like a fool. But yeah, man. But what about so beyond the amiibos? What about other collectibles? Are there things from here you've been hearing about that you're looking to pick up?
Right now it's just the Amiibos. It seems like I don't know if you've been keeping track on the Amiibos in Japan, but it seems like you guys seem to have most of them, and the demand's not really been that high over there. So there was a joke that my friend was saying that over here people are going crazy for like the certain few here that are completely out of stock, and they're like, if you find them, you need to buy it straight away. So like, but in Japan there must be a guy just like saying, "Oh, look at these foreigners just going crazy over like little Mac or something. We've got like crap loads sitting here, man." And he's probably just selling them on for like a decent price.
Yeah, actually, I was over at the mall this morning looking for those Pokemon Gachapon, and I remember when the Majora's Mask pre-orders of the new 3DS went live, right? And people couldn't get them in the West, and like people
Oh
were
yeah,
freaking out. But I was there this morning, and on the on the shelf they had to have maybe like 12 copies, which filled up these two small shelves of pre-orders, um, left over for the Majora's Mask stuff, which I guess speaks to what Dude Jericho was saying about Zelda not being that popular over here. But I guess I mean it's the same kind of thing, you know?
yeah. Like the how the Western market and the kids are, they just go crazy once something collector related comes out, or if it's like a Zelda or one of the big franchises. People just go crazy for the collector's versions of that
Yeah,
certain
no,
item.
that's true enough. That
So
is
regardless
true.
if it's small, big, people just gonna go crazy over it.
Yeah, man. Okay, it looks like Rue in the comments here is asking about the Persona 5 trailer. I didn't see it. Did you see it, Russ?
I haven't seen it over yet, but I know people have been tweeting about it. I have
Yeah,
Persona 4, but that's the only one I've played.
I haven't played any of them, but I've heard the buzz around them. Actually, Travis, you were talking about like buying a bunch of the 3DSs and then sort of shipping them out to make some coin. I'm thinking about doing that with like all of these. I have a bag now of duplicate Gachapon from trying to get all these sleeping Pokemon ones. Um, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna sell like half sets and stuff like that on eBay and hopefully try and make a little bit of money from it. But it feels dirty. It feels dirty,
You
but
should
yeah.
definitely do it with the Amiibos, man. You'll make a nice sum of money if you do it with the Amiibos. And go for the ones that are real, like everyone's after in the West, like Little Mac, Shulk. Rosalina was another rare one that people have been trying to find.
I heard that the Villager is one of those two. Maybe Jake was talking about it.
Oh yeah, yeah. He was the first. He was my first Amiibo. Actually, when they first announced it, I pre-ordered all of Wave One, and then there was like stuff coming out of after E3 that the paint jobs were not up to scratch and all that. So I thought, you know what, I'll
Uh,
cancel everything and just have the Villager as the first pre-order and see, what if the qualities are really as poor as the people are saying. But
right, yeah.
luckily, no, it came out quite well, and it's still my favorite Amiibo from
Nice, man.
the as well.
Yeah, no,
Got that.
doesn't look bad at all to me. I mean, I think I really need to find. see if we can get a Toon Link over here, because I'm wondering. I know it's gotten really expensive over there from what Dude Jericho was saying, so I'm wondering if it's not that popular over here, if maybe I can find it for like a really good price or something.
Yeah, look around, look around. I luckily managed to pick up the last one, like on the website, and yeah, so I'm happy with my little guy right there.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's my favorite Link for sure.
But most of the Wave One stuff is pretty cheap now. Like the lesser known characters that are not famous, like Star Fox, Samus, Donkey Kong, the original Link. I've seen the Mario. Yeah, since there's a new Mario coming out. Like with Mario Party 10, they re-released some of the older characters and some new ones for the release of Mario Party 10 for the Wii U.
Uh, yeah, no, I'll have to keep it. No, do you buy them? I don't even know where I'd find them because I've never seen them over here. Are they in video game stores? Or are they in toy stores? I wonder. I don't know.
Over here, they sell them in some select supermarkets that have like electronics section or have a game section. But yeah, they sell them in game stores. Or I don't know. Maybe I don't know if Hard Off will sell them. Maybe I don't know what the equivalent to like GameStop is in Japan. So I don't know, maybe try and find something that's like a like a branch that's in like every area of Japan or something.
Yeah, maybe I can
I
look
don't
at
know.
like a Tsutaya or something, or one of the bigger electronic stores. But I mean, I'm sure I'll see. Is Pikachu the only Pokemon amiibo out so far?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm going
Charizard.
to. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying Charizard's coming out. I've got him on pre-order.
I think
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Oh, Charizard. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I just remembered I'm going to Nakano Broadway in Nagoya next weekend. So maybe I'll
Oh
keep
yeah.
an eye out for them there. Dude, Jericho, seriously, man, I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for like a couple cheap Toon Links, man, and then we can, yeah, we'll work it out, man. But I'll keep an eye out for you. Um, because Nakano Broadway is gonna have a lot of stuff, as is the Pokemon Center, which I'm really psyched about. Really psyched about.
They probably have the Pokemon. They probably have the Pikachu amiibo in the Pokemon Center.
Yeah, I imagine. I'm hoping they have those Nendroid red figures there.
Oh yeah, that's another sort out figure as well.
Yeah,
Limited
those
on.
things are just freaking sexy, is what they are.
There's
And
another thing that recently, sorry to interrupt, there's another thing that my friend linked me to that was exclusive to the Pokemon Center in Japan. It's like this huge like pillar of Whale Lord, that Pokemon, that massive whale, and it's like that, like proper, it's like massive. So maybe like take a picture if you see it in person when you're at the Pokemon Center.
is it a whale lord?
It's
Is that what you're
huge.
talking about? Ah,
Yeah, it's
damn.
a Whale Lord, but massive. It's like a massive like cushion pillow, whatever you want to call it, but it's huge. I saw it on eBay for about £80, and I was like tempted to pick it up. It just looks so good, man. It's
Ah,
huge.
I hope it's
I know
comfortable.
customs. Yeah, it does look comfortable. But yeah, maybe look out for it.
No Broadway. Need to go when I'm back. Not gonna Broadway. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they're in a couple of the big cities, right? There's one in Tokyo. There's one in Nagoya. Is that right? I
I only know.
remember. Yeah, I think Rachel and June did a video on it not all that long ago, I think. And yeah, I mean, you watch that thing and you're like, okay, I need to go to this place for sure, and just bring cash, leave your debit card at home, or you will regret it, type thing.
You know, because Victor made that two-part video when he was walking through, and he sort of separated with Shane and Rachel and June, and he was off, he's doing his own thing, he was looking around. And there's so many stuff I spotted, man, and I don't think he realized that because I don't think he's into the whole otaku scene. And there were so many like rare items and figures I saw. I was thinking, oh my days, man, I'll just be on that straight.
Um, Poor Otaku. Wah, wah. I'm hoping I've gotta go to Tokyo tomorrow for business. I'm leaving in 4.5 hours. But anyway, and I'm hoping that I can get away for like to Akihabara for like an hour on my lunch break type thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We'll see
Sneak
though.
away.
Probably not gonna happen, but keep my fingers crossed.
Just hide in a box and just sneak away, solid snake style. Then you see the net pop up on your head.
I like that idea. Yeah, blip.
What was that noise? What are these footprints in the snow when he starts following it?
Huh? What was that noise? Yeah, indeed. Akiba. Yeah, Rue. I've heard that. I've heard that Nakano is sort of like a poor man's Akihabara type thing, but meh, it'll do. It'll do. Akiba, excuse me. But yeah, Raz. I'm gonna start wrapping up the stream because we're getting close to 11. Are there any stories that you think are like from the land of otaku that you think should be brought up before we close out?
Um, no, I don't really have any interesting stories, but there's like a random thing that I don't know if it's just me and my friends do. Like maybe it's a collector's thing, but you know, if there's something you see in a store, just say with the Amiibos, if there's like an Amiibo you really want, but you don't have enough money for it, or you want to come back later. There's a thing that we do. I don't only do this with the Amiibos. I've done this with other stuff that I wanted in the past. Like I would hide it behind a couple of items, hoping that if someone's looking for the same thing, they won't come and look for it. So I'll make sure I hide it behind like crap load of items, and then go do my other thing, and then maybe later on down the week or something, or later that day come back and hopefully it's still there. So I don't know if that's something all collectors do, or just me and my friends, or I don't know.
I I haven't done that, but like I have had the thing where I've left the gachapon machine over in the mall, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm not spending any more money. But then I come home and I'm like, you know what? Somebody's gonna go to that machine right after I leave and get the ones that I want. I need to go back there and make sure that doesn't happen, which is bullshit. Which is bullshit because it just means I'm gonna keep spending more money and getting more duplicates, right? But
Yeah.
yeah, such is the curse, I guess. But what can you
But
do?
it's funny because when I'm actually doing it, I'm not even thinking about it. It just naturally just happens. It's like I don't even think about it, like oh, I'm doing this right now. It's just a natural reaction that I just do it. Then I just walk up. I don't even think about it. I'm not like, wait a minute, what did I just do? I just moved something behind another item.
Just do-
It's just a natural reaction. Just happens. It's like some collector's reflex. Like I need to hide this item back here, and so the other person looking for it can't find it, and then just go off do my own thing. So I
that's
don't know. Just
hilarious.
weird, strange thing, man.
Like I like how too it's just like a switch. Like you're not even doing it consciously. You're just like, time to. Yeah, man. No, I feel you. Like I think that seems like a completely normal reaction, to be honest. So
Yeah, I thought it was. I don't know. Maybe we can open it up to the people in the comments and see if they've got this random
yeah,
habit.
yeah. Oh yeah. Travis Moore says it's like otaku gambling,
The
right?
shakes, man, the shakes.
Yeah, you're just like gotta go back and get one more type thing. That's true, Travis. Yeah, what about the rest of you guys in the comments? Are there weird things you do when there's like a collectible, I guess, or anything that you know you really want, you don't want somebody to get before you do?
Or another random thing my friend does. If he can't decide, like he'll ask me, like if there's two items he really wants, and then he can't decide, he'll ask me, and then I'm like, whichever one you want the most, buy it. Or if he can't decide, then I'm like, all right, just buy the cheapest one now, and then come back later. Then he still can't decide. Then he'll flip a coin, and I don't know if other people do that, but he'll flip it 3 times for some reason. So I don't
Superstitious,
know.
huh?
Maybe it's just his way of and and you know what's funny? Yeah, I don't know if I should say this because no, don't he don't watch the show anyway. But he was telling me that at work here he was offered a promotion for like a manager position, and he couldn't decide, so he actually flipped the coin to decide. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "Really? Are you joking, dude?" He's like, "No, I flipped the coin." And everyone's looking at me thinking, is this guy feeling okay or is it meds?
So your friend
Like,
is
that's
basically Harvey Dent.
Yeah, I need to get him that coin. I always tell him like I'm gonna get you the Harvey Dent coin, and he's like, yeah, yeah. I just had this vision of these guys in the suits, and we're like, yeah, so we're pleased with your work, and we'd like to promote you. And he's like, yeah, one sec, flip the coin, and I'm like, yeah, all right, take the job now.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
it's
man.
funny, man, too funny. That's
Actually,
just crazy, but funny at the same time.
I I definitely don't do the flip a coin thing, but I will always ask people if I can't decide something like one of my friends with me. But my thing is,
Yeah,
once people tell me what they think I should get, I always choose the opposite. For whatever reason, so I've stopped doing it because I just piss people off. Right? They're like, "Why do you even bother asking me?" So, yeah. Where's Harvey? Indeed.
let's
Yes.
not stop. Everybody there, Mr. Wayne.
Indeed, Bernie. What does make a maid cafe more or less interesting? Dun dun
Oh
dun.
yeah, I'm actually going to. Yeah, this is related to Otaku. I'm going to a maid cafe this Sunday actually.
Oh, really?
Over in the yeah.
What what did you think of it?
It's not like a proper maid cafe like. No, no, it's happening this Sunday coming. I'm going to be going to it. I've been to it before. It's sort of like a maid cafe event, so they hold it certain times like through the year. So it's not like a everyday cafe where you can just walk in and have fun and walk out again. It's like set times through the year that they hold it in certain places, like actual cafes and restaurants and stuff, and then they play games with you. The standard maid stuff. But I
Right,
don't
yeah,
think
yeah,
it's
yeah.
as good as the Japanese ones.
It looks like Sean is looking for a partner to go to the maid cafes with, because I pretty much told him straight up I wasn't going. I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. Yeah, Bernie's your Huckleberry maybe.
Oh yeah, Huckleberry, that too. So I like that reference.
The only I've sort of actively avoided maid cafes, and then Bernie brings me. We didn't go in, but Bernie brings me to a cat cafe in Kyoto, and we only stood there for I don't know, like a minute or something. And I'm looking in there, man, and like all the feels are happening at that place as I'm standing there looking at them being pet.
Did,
Cafes here,
did
just
you go in?
no,
Or
no, we
you
didn't
just
go in. We didn't go in because Bernie, I guess is pretty expensive. So, but I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to, but I do want to
I
go to
heard
those.
about
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, go, no, no, go.
No, I was gonna say I do want to go to one of those pop up like Pokemon cafes in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, I heard about, I saw a video on that as well. Now I heard in Japan, I don't know if this is true, like the maid cafes, like the more longer you stay there and play around with them, you got to pay extra for the different services they offer, like you want to play games and stuff, and then the extra time you stay there, you got to pay for that as well. So it's not like one off, like you don't walk in, stay as long as you want, and you just pay for the food and stuff like over here. Because over here you pay for the ticket, and then you can stay there for the allocated time slot that you've been assigned to. Like you don't pay extra if you stay outside that time slot.
I don't.
I don't
Yeah,
know
I
if
don't know. Maybe Bernie with her vast maid cafe expertise. Yeah, I do want to go to Rabbit Island, Lucas. Rabbit Island, Cat Island. I want to go to that fox farm, but it's really far away from me. For the record, they don't eat the foxes. It's a sanctuary, but um, yeah. But Raz, I think I'm gonna start wrapping up the stream, man. Thank you for coming on and
Alright,
giving us your
no problem.
your expertise. Appreciate it. And
Oh
to the
man,
rest,
thanks man.
yeah, dude. Peace. Hope we can do it again.
Oh man, take care man.
So to the rest of you guys, thanks as always for coming by and checking out the stream. This I think actually looking at the viewers and the comments and everything, this has been our biggest stream today, which is really exciting. Always awesome to see it grow like that. So thank you guys. I'm glad you found the otaku topics interesting and had all this stuff put in. Much more interesting things to say than I did, of course. And I hope that you will. Yeah, Roz, check out Bernie's comments, man. If you're still watching. Um, I hope you guys will check out the new series Otaku that's starting this weekend. And don't let the crappy opening animation put you off. I put a lot of work into it, so at least pretend to like it, please. And if you can't watch it, do check out the podcast, which will be posted on SoundCloud. So anyway, guys, thanks as always for watching. Please like and share the video if you did, in fact, like it enough to share it. And we won't actually have a stream next week. I have to go to a social event for work. But we will be back the next week. I think Jake is coming back to talk about teaching in Japan because we didn't have time for it last time. But thank you guys so much. Really appreciate your taking your precious time and spending it with me. So have a nice night. Cheers. Awkward time between the stop button